You don't eliminate bad habits by force. You eliminate them by outgrowing them. Most people try to break bad habits through motivation, punishment, or guilt. But a Stoic doesn't rely on feelings that shift with the wind. A Stoic doesn't beg for strength, he becomes it. And if you want to defeat your bad habits permanently, you don't need more hacks or tricks. You need inner transformation. Welcome to the quiet revolution of the mind. Welcome to Stoicism. You see, habits are not broken. They're dissolved. By rising into a new identity. By becoming a version of yourself who simply doesn't act that way anymore. The ancient Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." You want to break your bad habit of procrastination? Don't focus on trying not to delay. Focus on becoming the kind of person whose actions are driven by purpose, not impulse. That's what Stoicism teaches. Not how to suppress yourself, but how to master yourself. When you act on a bad habit, whether it's late-night binge eating, doom scrolling, reacting with anger, you're not just doing something harmful. You're training your mind to obey something weaker than you. A Stoic asks, what part of me just made that choice? Was it my higher nature, my logos, my reason, my discipline? Or was it my lower self, the part ruled by fleeting pleasure, fear, or avoidance? That moment of reflection is powerful. And that's where the Stoic makes his move. Not by fighting the habit, but by understanding its weakness and walking away from it. Because here's the truth. You don't rise by wrestling your demons every night. You rise by no longer inviting them into your room. The modern world doesn't teach self-mastery. It sells you pleasure and calls it freedom. It rewards instant gratification and labels it self-care. But Stoicism holds a mirror to all that. It asks you, are you truly free if you can't say no to your cravings? Are you truly in control if your mood, your day, your energy is hijacked by a compulsion you hate? A Stoic sees the truth plainly. You can't be at peace with yourself if you're at war with your actions. So how do you begin to walk away from destructive habits? It starts with awareness, without judgment. Epictetus said, "You must learn to see what you're doing to yourself. Before you can fix anything, you must see it clearly." Notice when your habit arises. Not with guilt, with curiosity. What am I avoiding right now? What emotion am I trying to escape? That pause is where power begins. Then comes detachment. You are not your urges. You are not your impulses. You are the watcher, the master, the one who chooses. Seneca said, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire." In other words, we rush toward comfort as if we'll live forever, but fear discipline as if it will kill us. The Stoic reverses that. He embraces discomfort in the short term, because he knows it builds long-term peace. The person addicted to approval, the one addicted to distractions, the one who can't stop checking the phone or reacting with anger. They are prisoners to themselves. But the one who steps back, who sees the craving arise and calmly walks past it, that is the truly powerful one. That's the one becoming free. Here's another thing Stoicism teaches. Bad habits don't need to be hated. They need to be understood. Because every habit, even the worst, once served a need. Smoking might have once helped calm you. Lying might have once protected you. Procrastinating might have once helped you avoid pain. But you're not that person anymore. A Stoic says, "I thank the habit for what it once gave me. But I do not need it now. I choose a different path, one of strength." This shift in identity is essential. If you want to defeat bad habits permanently, Stop saying, "I'm trying to quit." Say, "That's no longer who I am." Words shape your mind, and your mind shapes your behavior. Now here's the hard truth. Discipline is a muscle, and the muscle grows only through repetition. So don't look for motivation. That fades. Build a routine. Create a system. Remove the cue. Limit the trigger. Make the bad habit harder to do, and the good habit easier to do. The Stoic doesn't try to control the world. He controls what he can, himself. And that's enough. If your bad habit is staying up late, turn your devices off before the temptation hits. If your bad habit is emotional eating, don't keep the food nearby. If your bad habit is anger, write before you speak. This isn't weakness. This is strategy. You don't need to prove how strong you are by resisting temptation. You prove how smart you are by not putting it in your path in the first place. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Your mind is your battlefield. Win there, and everything else follows. There will be slips. There will be relapses. But a Stoic doesn't define himself by failure. He defines himself by how quickly he returns to his path. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're reprogramming yourself. You're becoming someone else. Someone higher, stronger, freer. Bad habits lose power, not because you fear them, but because you outgrow them. You no longer feed them with your energy. You no longer dance with them in the dark. You walk in the light of your new identity. The man who once needed escape now embraces silence. The man who once needed pleasure now builds character. The man who once ran now stands still, firm, unshaken, unmovable. This is what Stoicism does. It strips away the illusions. It hands you the sword of reason, and it dares you to pick it up, not to fight the world, but to cut through the weakness within. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be persistent. You don't need to win every day. You need to rise every time you fall. That's Stoicism. That's how you defeat bad habits, permanently. Conclusion plus call to action. You don't need another self-help book. You need to remember who you are when you're not ruled by impulse. Start small. Take one action today your future self will thank you for. Reflect tonight. Act again tomorrow. And soon, the old you, the one chained to his habits, will be a stranger. If this message spoke to something inside you, like, subscribe, and join us on this Stoic journey. Because every day is a new chance to become the master of your own mind.